Could a single piece of linen tucked away in a cathedral hold the ultimate proof of Jesus Christ's resurrection? Or is the Shroud of Turin the most elaborate deception in history? This ancient relic has sparked debates for centuries, blending faith, science, and mystery in a way that captivates believers and skeptics alike. Welcome to Paradise Lost and Found, your channel for unraveling the enigma of prophecy, science, and the supernatural. If you're fascinated by the Shroud of Turin, biblical mysteries, or the intersection of faith and evidence, hit that like button now, subscribe, and ring the bell for more mind-blowing explorations. Drop a comment below. Do you think the Shroud of Turin is real? Let's dive into this 2,000-year-old mystery. In the heart of Turin, Italy, inside the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, lies a relic that has defied time and explanation. The Shroud of Turin is a 14.3-foot-long, 3.7-foot-wide linen cloth, fragile yet enduring, bearing the faint sepia-toned image of a crucified man. His body is marked by wounds that mirror the gospel accounts of Jesus' passion: scourge marks across his back, nail wounds in his wrists, a lance wound in his side, and punctures on his head suggesting a crown of thorns. His face, serene yet swollen, carries an expression that feels alive, as if frozen in a moment of transcendence. The Shroud's journey is as mysterious as its image. Some trace its origins to 1st century Jerusalem, possibly linked to the image of Edessa, a cloth revered in early Christianity. Historical records suggest it surfaced in Lille, France around 1354 before being entrusted to the House of Savoy and eventually housed in Turin. It has survived fires, wars, and the scrutiny of modern science, yet its faint image remains pristine, untouched by decay. The Vatican, cautious as ever, neither endorses nor denies its authenticity. For millions of Christians, it's a sacred relic, a tangible link to the crucifixion and resurrection. For skeptics, it's a medieval forgery, a clever trick to inspire awe. But why does this cloth, centuries old, still command global attention? To answer that, we must unravel its secrets thread by thread. In 1988, the Shroud faced its most publicized test radiocarbon dating. 3 laboratories, Oxford, Zurich, and Arizona, analyzed a small sample from the cloth's corner. Their verdict? The shroud dated to between 1260 and 1390 AD, squarely in the Middle Ages, centuries after Jesus' time. Skeptics declared victory. The shroud, they claimed, was a hoax. But the story doesn't end there. Almost immediately, experts raised red flags. The sample came from a corner known to have been repaired after a 1532 fire that nearly destroyed the shroud. Textile experts like Dr. Alan Wenger noted that the tested area contained cotton fibers and a different weave pattern, a 3-to-1 twill distinct from the shroud's herringbone weave. This suggested the sample was part of a medieval patch, not the original cloth. Further scrutiny revealed statistical anomalies. The 3 labs' results varied significantly, with a chi-squared test indicating inconsistencies that questioned their reliability. Dr. Raymond Rogers, a chemist from Los Alamos National Laboratory, later analyzed threads from the same area and found vanillin, a compound that degrades over time, present in the tested sample but absent in the main shroud. His conclusion? The repair theory held water, and the 1988 dating was flawed. Could the scientific community have misjudged the most enigmatic relic in history? The controversy opened the door to new investigations, and what they uncovered would challenge everything. In the 21st century, advanced technology has breathed new life into the shroud's mystery. Scientists like Dr. Liberato De Caro and Giulio Fanti employed wide-angle X-ray scattering, or WAX, and atomic-level crystallography to analyze the shroud's linen fibers. Their 2022 study, published in Heritage, dated the cloth to between 55 BC and 74 AD, a timeline that aligns with Jesus' era. Unlike carbon dating, WAX examines the molecular structure of cellulose, offering a non-destructive method less susceptible to contamination. Botanical Evidence adds another layer. In the 1970s, Dr. Max Frey, a Swiss criminologist, identified pollen grains on the shroud from plants native to the Jerusalem region, including Gundelia tourneforti, which blooms in spring. These findings, later corroborated by Dr. Avinoam Danan, suggest the shroud was exposed to a Middle Eastern environment, possibly during the 1st century. Forensic analysis of the bloodstains reveals human blood, type AB, with high levels of bilirubin, a compound associated with severe trauma. The stains show no signs of pigment or dye, and their distribution matches the flow patterns of a crucified body. Textile experts note the shroud's herringbone weave, a complex pattern rare in medieval Europe but documented in 1st century Middle Eastern textiles such as those found at Masada. These findings, pollen, blood, and weave, paint a picture of a cloth far older and more traveled than the 1988 tests suggested. But the real enigma lies in the image itself. The shroud's image is unlike anything in art or nature. At first glance, it's a faint outline, barely discernible. But in 1898, amateur photographer Secondo Pia made a startling discovery. When he developed the negative of his shroud photograph, a vivid, lifelike image emerged. A perfect photographic negative, a concept unknown before the advent of photography. How could a 1st century cloth anticipate a 19th century invention? In 1978, the Shroud of Turin Research Project, or STURP, a team of over 30 scientists, conducted the most extensive study of the relic. Using NASA's VP-8 image analyzer, Dr. John Jackson, a physicist who worked on the Voyager program, converted the shroud's image into a 3-dimensional topographic map. Unlike any painting or photograph, the shroud's image contained depth data, with intensity varying based on the distance between the cloth and the body. This encoded information produced a coherent 3-dimensional figure, a feat no known artwork has replicated. STURP's tests ruled out conventional explanations. The image isn't a painting, a burn, or a contact print. It resides only on the topmost fibers, less than 2 microns deep, with no penetration into the cloth's interior. Comparisons to other relics like the Sudarium of Oviedo, believed to be the face cloth of Jesus, show striking similarities in bloodstain patterns and wound placement, further suggesting authenticity. The shroud's image defies replication. How was it created? The answer may lie in a phenomenon science is only beginning to grasp. In 2011, researchers at Italy's NEA, the National Agency for New Technologies, tackled the shroud's image formation using cutting-edge ultraviolet laser technology. Led by Dr. Paolo Di Lazzaro, the team attempted to replicate the shroud's superficial discoloration. Their findings were staggering. It would require a burst of 34,000 billion watts of vacuum ultraviolet radiation, delivered in less than 1/40th billionth of a second, to produce an image with the shroud's characteristics. That's more energy than all of humanity's power grids combined. Remarkably, the shroud's image is only 0.2 micrometers deep, affecting just the surface fibrils. This precision rules out chemical processes like scorching or vapor diffusion which would penetrate deeper. The ENEA team hypothesized a short-lived directional energy pulse, possibly radiation emanating from within the body itself. Some scientists propose a corona discharge or quantum-level event, while others like Dr. August Exeta explore biological radiation models. Skeptics counter with natural explanations, such as a Maillard reaction, a chemical process involving amino acids. But these fail to account for the image's 3-dimensional properties and lack of pigment. For believers, the ENEA findings evoke the resurrection, a moment of divine light captured in linen. Could the shroud be, as some call it, the 1st century selfie of Jesus Christ? The shroud has a way of challenging even the most hardened skeptics. Barry Schwartz, a Jewish photographer and STURP member, began as a skeptic but became one of the shroud's staunchest defenders after studying its scientific anomalies. The evidence is overwhelming, he says. This is not a forgery. Filmmaker David Rolfe, initially dismissive, underwent a similar transformation. After producing documentaries and gaining rare access to the shroud, he declared, "I have no doubt the person depicted is Jesus of Nazareth." His 2022 film, Who Can He Be?, reignited public interest, trending in discussions on X. Cultural figures have also weighed in. On Joe Rogan's podcast, guest Eddie Bravo, known for his skepticism, admitted, "The science is insane, I'm all in." Posts on X reflect similar shifts, with users sharing threads on the shroud's pollen, blood and imaging, often moving from doubt to fascination. The shroud's appeal transcends religion. Nuclear engineers like Dr. Robert Rucker, biophysicists like Dr. Isabel Piczek, and forensic experts like Dr. Frederick Zugibe have studied the relic, each stunned by its inexplicable features. Their collective voice suggests the shroud is more than a curiosity, it's a scientific and spiritual puzzle. Stirp's 1978 investigation delivered a unanimous verdict. The shroud's image contains no paint, dye, or pigment. Chemical tests, including infrared spectroscopy and microchemical analysis, found only oxidized cellulose fibers, altered at a molecular level. The image is a superficial dehydration of the linen, affecting only the top 200 nanometers of each fiber. Crucially, the bloodstains precede the image. Forensic analysis shows the blood, human type AB with trauma-induced bilirubin, was transferred before the body image formed, ruling out painting. The stains lack capillary action, meaning the body didn't press into the cloth as would occur in a contact transfer. Instead, the image appears to float above the fibers, defying gravity and physics. Alternative theories, like a medieval artist using a bas-relief or chemical vapors, have been tested and debunked. The University of Padua's 2014 study confirmed the image's unique properties, unmatched by any known artistic technique. As Stirp concluded, the image is an ongoing mystery. The Shroud of Turin is the most analyzed religious artifact in history. Over 100 scientists from 17 disciplines, particle physics, chemistry, radiology, pathology, and more, have scrutinized it. The 1978 Stirp project alone logged 120 hours of direct examination, using ultraviolet fluorescence, X-ray radiography, and microspectrophotometry. Historically, the shroud's path is a saga of survival. Some link it to the Mandalion of Edessa, a revered cloth mentioned in 4th century texts. Others speculate it was guarded by the Knights Templar during the Crusades. By 1578 it reached Turin, where it endured a 1532 fire, leaving iconic burn marks and floods. Each event adds to its mystique. The shroud's wounds align precisely with the Gospel's nail marks in the wrists, not palms as crucifixion required, 120 scourge marks from a Roman flagrum, a side wound consistent with a lance, and head punctures suggesting thorns. Lesser-known studies like Dr. Alan Adler's porphyrin analysis confirm the blood's authenticity, while UV fluorescence reveals no image under the bloodstains, a detail no forger could anticipate. Despite this scrutiny, the shroud's creation remains elusive. It's a relic that invites both faith and reason to wrestle with its truth. For Christians, the shroud resonates with biblical imagery. John 8:12 calls Jesus the light of the world. At the Transfiguration, Matthew 17:2, his face shone like the sun. Revelation 1:16 describes his return with eyes like a flame of fire. Could the shroud's image, a flash of light etched in linen, be a physical echo of these moments? Theological perspectives vary. Catholics venerate the shroud as an icon, not an idol, while Protestants often view it as a historical artifact. Non-Christians, like Jewish scholar Barry Schwartz, see it as a universal mystery, transcending dogma. The Quran, Surah 4:157, denies Jesus' crucifixion, yet some Muslim scholars find the shroud's evidence intriguing. 2 Corinthians 4:6 speaks of God's light shining in the face of Jesus Christ. For believers, the shroud's haunting visage may embody this truth, a divine signature preserved for posterity. Whether sacred or secular, its image challenges us to confront the unknown. So, where do you stand? Is the Shroud of Turin a supernatural snapshot of the resurrection, capturing a burst of divine light? Or is it history's greatest unsolved mystery, a puzzle that science can't crack? Perhaps it's both, a relic that bridges faith and reason, inviting us to question, explore, and wonder. The science is undeniable. No pigment, no explanation, no replication. The history is compelling. A cloth that predates medieval Europe. bearing the marks of a first-century crucifixion. The implications are profound. We may be gazing at the only physical evidence of the event that reshaped human history. If the shroud made you think, smash that like button. If it sparked your curiosity, share this video with friends. Subscribe to Paradise Lost and Found for more deep dives into biblical mysteries, scientific enigmas, and end-time prophecies. In the comments, tell us, is the shroud divine proof, a masterful hoax, or something else entirely? The truth may be hiding in the linen. Keep seeking, keep questioning, and let's uncover it together. Cheers.